Sometimes the power of editing makes it appear perfect. But always things just don't go as planned. Sometimes you nearly tip over a tractor, and the trees still don't fall the right way and almost smush the solar kiln. And we're being pressed for time as the season is changing. Stay tuned.
What you doing?
Trying to find an app for our moisture meter device that records, I guess, temperature and moisture. What was it? I got it. Okay, so let's see if we can connect. So right now, it says it's inside 80 degrees.
Can't see that, but yeah. 80 degrees inside?
71% humidity. Let me see if I can see history. I haven't used this device. Did it record history? How do we see history? Oh, it's loading. Okay. Oh, it's loading. It's doing something.
Well, that's loading. Our fan is running. I did not break it, so that is good news. However, I don't think it's enough. I think we're going to need 2 or 3 of these fans to
Well, you also need a vent.
to move the air around properly.
It's not airtight, so the air does escape, but not enough. We definitely need to put in a vent. Oh, look. So we've reached at some point 120 degrees, 118.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. So that how long did it stay like that?
A couple hours. So
120
a couple
degrees.
times actually reached 118 degrees a couple times, and the humidity varied between 40% and like 97%. I don't know, that might have been when we were installing and it was like raining.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's working. And it was not super hot up here this week. It was
so 9:21
mid 60s.
So that was this Thursday, right? And around 3 o'clock it reached it. It's hard because it's like, let me see if I can zoom in. Right, so it got up to 100 by around 1. It got to 100 and call it 20, even though it's 118. Around 3, but then it rapidly started dropping at 4:30. It was already 100 degrees.
Because that's when the sun
starts to move, right? But yeah, it reached it a couple times earlier. So I guess if it's a nice, bright, sunny day, it does what it's supposed to do. So it's pretty good.
Awesome.
And this $20 device,
great.
Better than the anticipated.
Put a link in the description below.
Sure.
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself.
So when we loaded, which was about 30-some%, 34, 35 if I remember. So let's see where we are now. We're at 16%. Just 2 weeks, right? Not really been reaching very high temperatures, but maintaining good temperatures. Yeah.
Feeling really encouraged, it was time to mill a new log and make new planks. If you remember, last time our blade just kept snapping off. We kept replacing it. And we milled just a few boards, we loaded the kiln halfway, and now we were planning to finish the load. Most of the summer I was milling hemlocks, and I realized pine are a different species, and I'm attributing some of the feel that it just feels different to the fact that it's a different species, but it just didn't quite feel right. Here I'm trying to figure out which way I will eventually mill the boards. I'm trying to aim for about 8.5 inches wide, so I'm always looking for the right side of the cant. And here the blade snapped again. At this point, I was about to abandon my hobby as a sawyer. We've tried everything, and I moved on to something I could do. I decided to do the insulation of the kiln. Or to be exact, the insulation was already in place, and I am putting the house wrap to seal it in. Another blade, another round of adjustments, adjusting the tracking, adjusting the tensioning. I was able to eke out a few extra boards. It was time to go for another log, and you can see that this one's really heavy. It's overpowering our tractor. Tractor's definitely struggling, and it almost tips over, but everyone was okay. This was a very large log. It almost maxed out our 23-inch sawmill. Not quite, it had some extra room left, but it was a fairly large log. I think I got 12-inch wide planks out of it, or very close to it. But at this point, the blade snapped again, and I was just done. We loaded what we could, and that was it. It was time for dinner. Again, we're off grid. We can't really research when things go wrong. We can't look things up. We can't research what was wrong with our saw. So we had to wait till next time we had reception to look things up. And we had more curveballs the next day. Starting to run out of season. The trees are changing. Cold weather is coming. And continuing to take down some pines. Clearing out the pine grove. And I guess one of them almost smushed the solar kiln. So we're gonna try to figure out again this whole snatch blocking. See if we can move it out of the way.
Yeah, I was having a really good run this morning. I got like 8 trees down, no problems, really working, and then I got too close to the hinge on this one, and it almost took out the solar kiln.
Great. So what's the plan? You got what, 2 or 3 snatch blocks?
Yeah, I got 2 on each side. So
2 on each side.
2 on, yeah.
So your plan is to move this tree backwards?
Yeah, try and slide it down. It's caught in the V of that maple. So I'm going to try and move it back, and then if that works, I'll reset up and do it all again.
You're going to slowly drag it backwards?
That's the plan. We'll
Is
we'll
there
see
a
how
risk
far
that
I get.
halfway it like tips?
I don't think so, because it's caught in that. But there's not a lot I can do about it. So if there is, there is, and if there isn't, there isn't.
We're not rebuilding the solar kiln.
I mean, at this point, it's going to be, you know.
The trees, the leaves are yellow, and so if this is it, this is it. That might be a sign.
All right, let's see what happens.
The famous last words were, "I don't think it will tip forward." Because that's exactly what the tree did, and ended up being perfectly balanced in that V of that maple, and it was stuck. At this point, any attempts to move it was basically trying to move the entire maple, and that was just not gonna happen. It was stuck. We were able to rotate it just a little bit, so if it did fall forward, it cleared the kiln. Started raining pretty hard, so we had to stop. We left the tree as it was. We have no idea what will happen to it. You will find out the same time we will find out, so stay tuned, come back, and let's see what happens.